I could not think of a better place to do a walk and talk video than here in Byron Bay, Australia. That's right, Byron Bay, Australia, and I am standing in front of the Byron Visitor Center. And I'm going to take you in, and this is where I'm going to actually start my walk and talk video. And it almost looks like, you know, I'm on something like the yellow brick road as I'm walking in. They've got the artwork. I think that would be the indigenous artwork as you walk in. So here at the Byron Visitor Center, they can help you with things like airport transfers, day tours. They can even store your luggage if you'd like. So I'm going to just take a moment and step inside here and just kind of show you what you would expect. So they've got everything in here from information about different accommodations, eat, drink, and shop. You can get information about all the different places you can go and do some shopping and what have you. And there you see it. And then over here there's your various information about accommodations. So I actually was in here just a little while ago and spent some time talking to a rather nice gentleman about all the different possibilities of things that I could share with you here in this part of Australia. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that we are in New South Wales, and I just left Queensland this morning and headed down here. So here you can see there's some different maps you can get of the area, and here actually is a map of Byron Bay itself. And what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to take you for a walk right down the main street here. And there's apparently a nice shipwreck, or I don't know if you would ever call a shipwreck nice, but there's a shipwreck right there, a famous shipwreck. So we're going to do a walk and talk and go down the street there, which I think is, it might be Jonson Street, if I'm not mistaken. It's Jonson Street. One of the lovely staff members here is nodding her head as I'm filming. So let's go and tour. Maybe we'll meet some of the locals, and I'll just give you a nice experience as to what you would expect if you were here yourself. So I looked on Google Maps, and the actual walk down to the location that I want to share with you is all of about 10 minutes. And if I do like my father used to do, rest his soul, I'm going to saunter a little bit. So what would normally take you about a 10-minute walk is going to take me probably the better part of maybe 15 or 20 minutes. And here I've got to be conscientious. They drive on the opposite side of the street that I'm accustomed to back in the States, and for that matter the majority of the world. So I'm gonna find my way across the street, and in doing so, the very first stop I see here is the Rainbow Shop. And this town actually has a bit of a hippie feel to it, if you will, Byron Bay, and it's changed quite a bit over the years, as I understand. So if those of you that are out watching this video, you might have been here as a young person, and now you look at it and you say, what happened to my Byron Bay? But anyway, so let's just we're just going to walk, and if I see anything interesting as we travel along, I'll be sure to share it with you. This is the community center right here, the community center and Byron Theater. There's no shortage of opportunity to shop while you're here. It looks like a nice hat for a walkabout, if you will. Maybe I should get myself one of those. And there's your boomerangs, returning boomerangs that really work. You can see. I actually have one of those, and having traveled the world as much as I have, some of the places I go back to a second, third, or even several times, I don't have to pick up souvenirs because I've been there and done that. So all types of wonderful shops around here. Just fantastic. And the temperature is rather nice. Today is the 4th of March, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the 4th of March. And as such, actually stop for people. Today's the 4th of March, and I think that is like the end of summer, or maybe we're nearing the end of summer. But you gotta wonder. I think that down in this neck of the woods, so to speak, I don't know that winter, really is much of anything too different than what their summers is. Maybe the water in the beach gets a little bit cooler, but aside from that, I can't imagine that there's much of a significant difference between winter, spring, summer, or autumn. I actually pulled into town this morning, having left the Gold Coast. I left the town of Surfer's Paradise bright and early this morning and took a nice drive, a little bit over an hour, down here to Byron Bay, thinking I was going to stay all of a day. But then I pulled into town and I saw some of the beaches, and the beaches here are just spectacular, absolutely spectacular. And I thought it would be a perfect opportunity for me to practice some of my drone skills, if you will. So there's a hotel right across the street called the Hotel Great Northern. So I'm actually looking for a bite to eat as I walk and talk. There was a chain Mexican restaurant just right up the street behind me near the visitor center, and I was told that I shouldn't go to the chain. I should go up to the corner here, and I'll find a place. I think it's called Aussie Mex, and it's a local place. So when you're in town and you can find a good local spot, especially when it's recommended by one of the locals themselves, you certainly heed their advice. So what I'm thinking is I'm here for the better part of 2 days, and I'm going to be staying in a little town about 15 minutes from Byron Bay. And that's where I'll stay tonight. And shortly after I do this video, I'll head up there. So I'm going to go up there and spend the night up there. And then tomorrow I'm checking into a place that is a little bit further out of Byron Bay. It's out in the countryside, and it's an old dairy farm, and they have a I guess frequent koalas hanging around the property. It's a beautiful property. So I'm going to go there and spend the night. And that is it's near a place called Crystal Castle, place that is built by I don't know, I think Buddhist monks, and it's a place for meditation, and they have a cafe and all types of crystal. You can Google that in anticipation of my visit, but it's called the Crystal Castle, if I'm not mistaken. So you can check that out, and that's one of the places that I'm gonna visit on my trip if I don't get knocked out trying to cross the street here. So it's a little bit easier said than done. They've got these roundabouts, and you gotta try to do your timing just right so as not to get knocked about, so to speak. And here is I'm coming right up on the Aussie Mex restaurant that the gentleman told me about. Aussie Mex, Mexican takeaway. So give a shout out to my good friend and client Lila Zaraga, who was quite surprised to know that they've got Mexican restaurants down there, but there they've got it all: burritos, nachos, quesadillas, enchiladas, salads, and what have you. Here's a view of the town. This would be the main roundabout. You know, a lot of towns they got the main square. Maybe here they've got the main roundabout, and just across the street you have the Balcony Bar and Oyster Company, which looks like a kind of actually reminds me of a place in Auckland, New Zealand, that on Tuesday nights they have I think buckets of oysters at a really, really great price. So we'll just walk along, and shouldn't be too long. I actually think I see the end of the road just up here. All types of different souvenir shops. You can pick up everything from sandals to shirts to hats and keychains and all that type of stuff. Very nice. Okay, and then what is that just across the street? You see, I told you it's kind of got a hippie feel. You see that hippie logo up there. All right, so let's come through here. I can actually, boy, the smell is just really wonderful. So if I'm not mistaken, I think it's called the Wreck. So I head up here, and I'm looking here. Here's another Mexican cantina. So the Aussies like their Mexican food for sure. So let's keep going. As I come across some of these places, they'll be playing music, and you want to try to minimize the inclusion, which would be a 50-cent word, as my dad, rest his soul, would say. The inclusion of music in your video, so as not to compromise what's called the monetization, which might be another 50-cent word. But sometimes I'll be doing a walk and talk, and you hear music, and just depending on the walk and talk itself, you might just go ahead and let it slide, so to speak, and forego the monetization. Here is a community swimming pool. Rather nice one at that. And just up here you've got the Fish Heads restaurant and takeaway. And then right up here toward the end you've got the beach. So as the saying goes, reach the beach. Here at this place you can have cafe, or you can have coffee, breakfast, lunch, dinner right on the waterfront, such as these folks are doing right there. But somewhere up here is a place called the Rex, and I don't know exactly what it is, but maybe I can do a quick search while I'm walking and talking and see if I can't pull it up. The Wreck, Byron Bay. Okay, so it's the Wreck is a surf spot located at Byron Bay, New South Wales. It's approximately 30 meters off the shore of Belongo Beach and approximately 60 meters from the main beach car park, which I think is where I'm at. The Wreck is named for the remains of the ship Wollongbar, lodged just offshore. And I actually can see part of the ship sticking out of the water just up ahead. Here you see somebody's got their camper van, and there you see, if you can see that, just off in the distance is the wreck of the ship. But look at this water. This water is just, boy, it gives you a peaceful, easy feeling. I absolutely love the water. I can't imagine living anywhere that I'm not more than an hour or two drive from a body of water, such as where I live out in Florida, right on the Gulf of Mexico. So rather overcast today, and a little bit breezy. I was thinking of going out and flying my drone around, and way off in the distance is the one of the main attractions here at Byron Bay, the lighthouse. And maybe I'm gonna wake up early tomorrow morning and go out and do a nice walk along the coastline and try to catch the sun coming up over Byron Bay. But there you have it. Look at that. Just beautiful. I bet the water is just fantastic. I'm not in a rush to get into the water, to be quite honest with you, because I'm actually going to be by the water for the foreseeable future. I'm going to be by the water. I was actually telling the ever so lovely and beautiful Michelle that she's quite fortunate to be living in such a spot in the world where she has just incredible access to such a beautiful spot as this. Now, as I pan about, I'm going to give you a shot of some folks that are, I think, camping out of their van here. You can see, just chilling in their van. And here's another group here that's just kind of hanging in their van. A whole group of them just chilling. Okay. They got it all going on here. So what a spot. What a really cool little spot. Far out. What a life, huh? And over here you have a park where people are just chilling on I think today is Wednesday. Could be mistaken. You get a little bit mixed up when you're just traveling quite a bit, and one day seems to blend into the other. But if you were here sitting, this is the view you'd have. It's as if you were here yourself. I'm sure some of you might have been yelling down in front. Quite a few people just kind of chilling out here. A lot of younger folk, just all kind of hanging in the park. Now I would imagine that somebody that is thinking of a trip down here to Byron Bay, this video would just give you a great perspective of what to expect if you're gonna be taking a trip. And interestingly enough, I'm at 19 minutes into this video, and I have been walking and talking without a problem. So I know there's those of you out there that think that I talk too much, but that's what I do for a living. And don't be trying this at home. Okay, I know that there are others out there that try to do the Tom Hall walk and talk. Here's a guy hanging. What's that called? You're hanging 10?
I'm not sure. I'm English.
You're English?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Manchester.
Manchester?
Yeah.
Well, you're on Tom TV.
Awesome.
You're on Tom TV. You just do a search on YouTube tomorrow for Byron Bay Downtown Walk and Talk, and you'll see yourself.
Oh, awesome.
You're on vacation?
Yeah, well,
How
working
did-
holiday visa.
Yeah. How does this compare to England?
We got better beaches in England.
No?
No.
All right. Now I got just another quick question. How did you score such a beautiful lady?
Oh, I don't know.
With
A
luck.
lot of alcohol.
You've got a lot of money, don't you?
I wish.
All right. Have a good day. All right. There you go. You see, it doesn't take a lot of effort to make people feel good. I made him think he's got a beautiful lady, which he does, and I made her feel beautiful, which she is. So I just do a little bit more of this walk and talk, and it is, boy, it's nice. Really, really nice. It's nice to do, actually, when you're doing a walk and talk, you know when somebody is receptive to being filmed, and you know when somebody may not, want to be on camera. But this is just one of many, many, many beaches here. There's a little guy playing in the sand. All right. If you look out there, there's a gentleman. They're standing, so the water is rather shallow for quite a distance offshore. And then here come these are the lifeguards, and they've got a patrol board here. The patrol captain is Lucky, and the vice captain is it Julie or something like that. Sweep pulling to the north. You can see the weather, low tide at 10:08, high at 15:06. Beware of submerged rocks up and down the beach. Surfboard riders stay outside of the black and white flags. So here is these are the lifeguards. How are you guys doing?
How are you?
Not too bad. Do you mind being on Tom TV?
I'm all good.
Me?
Huh?
What, me?
When's the last time you rescued somebody?
A good lifeguard never gets wet.
I'm sorry?
A good lifeguard never gets wet.
A good lifeguard never gets wet. All right, well, fantastic. You live in a beautiful, beautiful spot.
Yeah, it's pretty nice, isn't it?
Yeah,
Pretty
fantastic. All right, mate. Well, thanks, mate. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so, they need, like, in America, we have a TV show. Have you ever seen the TV show Baywatch?
Yeah, I don't know who hasn't.
Where's your Jennifer Anderson? Isn't it Jennifer? What's her
She's
name?
left.
She's left, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, well, have a good day. All right. Good sport. Okay, folks. So there is your Byron Bay downtown walk and talk with a little bit of a bonus as I give you some of the ocean. And here come another. Everywhere you look, there's beautiful ladies. And my dad, he was blessed to rest his soul. He would say, at his age, all women are beautiful. So there you go. My dad was a wise man. Have a great day.